Let me start with something that might completely change the way you think. About weight loss after the age of 60, something so shocking, so deeply rooted in science, and so universally ignored by mainstream advice that millions of seniors are unknowingly doing the exact opposite of what actually works. For decades, you have been told the same old lines. Eat less and move more. Cardio burns fat. Cut the calories, and you'll lose the belly. Wait, gain is just part of aging. But what if I told you that none of these are the real keys to losing belly fat after 60? What if I told you that, according to multiple long-term studies from institutions like Johns Hopkins, Stanford Medicine, Tufts University, Wake Forest, and Harvard, the truth is completely different, almost upside down compared to what you've been taught? And what if the real reason you struggle with belly fat after 60 has nothing to do with willpower, nothing to do with calories, and very little to do with exercise, but everything to do with timing, hormones, inflammation, gut health, circadian rhythm, metabolic flexibility, and cellular aging? See one of the biggest studies ever, conducted by the Johns Hopkins Division of Cardiology. Over 12,000 adults tracked for nearly 20 years revealed a result that stunned the entire medical community. People who spent hours doing cardio lost almost nitered belly fat, but people who made one simple dietary change burned 73% more visceral fat. Visceral fat, the dangerous fat around your organs, is the type that doctors fear most. And here's the most shocking part. The diet group didn't add a single hour of extra exercise. They lost belly fat simply by eating differently, not by eating less. Let that sink in. Not fewer calories, not more exercise, just different foods, different timing, and different nutritional sequences. And in this massive script, I'm going to break down the 7 scientifically proven, surgeon-approved steps that help people over 60 lose belly fat faster, safer, and more effectively than any cardio routine ever could. This is not guesswork. This is not bro science. Is not the typical recycled advice you hear from fitness. NCERS. This is real clinical research combined with practical, real-life transformations. And by the end of these 7 steps, especially after step number 1, your entire understanding of weight loss after 60 will evolve in a way that finally makes sense for your age, your biology, and your hormones. But before we start, let me ask you something. Comment your age and where you're watching from, because trust me, when you finish this journey, you will want to look back at this moment as the point where everything changed. Let's begin. Step 7. Strategic meal timing windows, the senior metabolism reset. We begin with the 7th step, and although it's the lowest on this list, it is still incredibly powerful. This step is not about what you eat, it's about what you eat. Why does this matter? Because after the age of 60, your metabolism becomes dramatically more sensitive to timing. Your hormones change. Your insulin response changes. Your digestion slows down. Your circadian rhythm becomes more fragile. And research from the Salk Institute for Biological Studies found something extraordinary. The same meal, eaten in the morning and at night, does not produce the same hormonal response, meaning identical meal, identical calories, identical ingredients, completely different effects on your blood sugar, insulin, fat storage, and metabolism purely because of the time. Here's what happens when you eat late after 60. Your insulin sensitivity drops sharply by nearly 40% after sunset. Your blood sugar spikes dramatically more. Your belly fat storage increases. Your body becomes less efficient at burning calories. Your organs slow down their metabolic processing. Your nighttime cortisol rises, which promotes abdominal fat. This is not an opinion. This is published research in cell metabolism and backed by multiple metabolic labs across the USTHE Salk Institute did a fascinating experiment. 2 groups eating the same foods, same calories, same macros. Group A finished all meals by 6 p.m. Group B finished by 10 p.m. After 12 weeks, guess the result. Group A lost 2.3 times. It's more belly fat without changing anything else. This means that timing alone without dieting fixed the metabolic imbalance that makes belly fat so stubborn after 60. The rule is simple. Finish your last meal 3 hours before bed. Eat your heaviest meal earlier in the day. Let your metabolism work with your circadian rhythm, not against it. Think of it like tending a fire in the morning. Your metabolic fire is blazing. Throw the big logs on then, at night. The flames are low, adding heavy food only. Smothers the system. This single change alone is enough to start melting belly fat for many seniors who've been stuck for years, but step 6 builds on this power even more. Because now we shift from timing to a nutrient most people over 60 are dangerously lacking. Step 6. Supercharging your digestion with soluble fiber, the belly fat gel effect. Now we move to one of the most ignored yet most powerful weight loss strategies for seniors. Soluble fiber. Not insoluble fiber. Not generic. Fiber, not eat more whole grains. Talking specifically about soluble fiber, the type that forms a gel-like substance in your stomach and dramatically changes the way your body digests, absorbs, and processes food. A long-term study from Wake Forest University tracked 1,100 adults for 5 years and discovered for every 10 grams of soluble fiber added per day, people lost 3.7% of their visceral fat. Without cutting calories, dieting, exercising more, changing anything else, just adding fiber. Why does it work so well for people over 60? Because aging dramatically alters your gut bacteria. Good bacteria that regulate appetite, metabolism, and fat storage. Decline bad bacteria, the kind that drive inflammation and weight gain increase. Soluble fiber becomes the food you're good. Bacteria need to survive and multiply. And when these bacteria digest soluble fiber, they produce something called short-chain fatty acids, which tell your liver to stop producing new fat, signal your brain that you are full, reduce insulin spikes, lower inflammation, improve metabolic flexibility, boost fat oxidation in your cells. This is why soluble fiber is considered a master nutrient. For senior weight loss, best sources: oats, beans, lentils, apples, berries, flax seeds, chia seeds, psyllium husks, sweet potatoes. Recommendation: aim for 25 grams of soluble fiber per day. Spread throughout the day, not all at once, not in a single meal, but evenly, so your gut bacteria get a steady nutritional supply. The problem most seniors face, and why they fail even when they try this, is the moment where most people over 60 unknowingly sabotage their progress. They think they're eating enough fiber. They think they're keeping calories under control. They think their meals are balanced. But in reality, most seniors underestimate their calories by 30 to 50%. They overestimate their protein by up to 60%. They underconsume fiber by more than 70%. They completely misread portion sizes, not because they are careless, but because the nutritional system is designed to confuse people. And this is where AI nutrition tracking becomes a game changer, because instead of guessing, you can finally know. But since this is a rewritten script, I'll use generic language, not branding, to keep your channel clean and unique. So I will replace product names with smart nutrition technology to keep your script ranking safely. How smart nutrition technology helps seniors lose weight faster. Imagine this. You sit down to eat. You take a quick photo of your plate, and within seconds, your phone tells you calories, fiber, protein, carbs, fats, estimated portion size, daily totals, macro balance, metabolic impact. No more guessing. No more Googling how many calories in a cup of lentils. No more logging foods manually. The tech does it for you, for seniors. This is a lifesaver because it finally brings clarity to fiber intake, meal timing, protein distribution, carb cycling, calorie range, sodium levels. Inflammation triggers fat sources once you remove the guesswork. Results become predictable. Your fiber target? Hit daily your protein intake. Balanced per meal. Your carb timing. Optimized your meal window? Visible, this alone helps many people over 60 lose first 5 to 10 pounds of belly fat simply by becoming aware of what they eat. Step 5. Removing hidden inflammatory foods, the silent weight loss killers. Now we move to step 5, one of the most important for seniors. Inflammation is the real enemy of weight loss after 60. Not fat, not calories, not carbs, inflammation, visceral fat, the deep belly fat around your organs produces inflammatory chemicals that make your body store more fat. So the more belly fat you have, the more inflammation you have, the more your body produces more belly fat. Vicious cycle. Researchers at the University of South Carolina did a 3-week test. Participants removed 4 food groups: refined seed oils, soybean oil, canola oil, corn oil, safflower oil, added sugars, refined grains, conventional dairy. The results were astonishing. Inflammatory markers dropped 41%. Belly size decreased over 1.4 inches. Energy levels rose dramatically. Cravings reduced significantly. These foods are everywhere. Seed oils are in salad dressings added. Sugars hide in sauces. Refined grains hide in healthy breads. Dairy causes inflammation in 60% plus of adults over 60. Once you remove these hidden triggers, your fat cells stop receiving the store more signal. Replace with olive oil or avocado oil, whole foods instead of processed grains, fermented dairy yogurt, kefir instead of milk, natural sweeteners instead of added sugar, home-cooked foods instead of packaged products. Your belly responds fast because the inflammation cycle breaks. Step 4. Optimizing protein distribution, the muscle metabolism connection. Protein becomes more important after 60 than at any other time in life, not for bodybuilding, but for survival. After 60, adults lose muscle at a rate of 1% to 2% per year. This loss is called sarcopenia, and it slows metabolism, increases belly fat, reduces mobility, hurts joint function, lowers energy, destabilizes blood sugar. Most seniors eat the right amount of protein, but at the wrong times. The typical pattern: breakfast, very low protein lunch, moderate dinner, overloaded. This is metabolically the worst possible distribution. A study from the Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who ate 30 grams of protein per meal, evenly spaced, retained much more muscle and burned more fat even with identical calories. Better muscle retention, 27% less visceral fat, higher metabolism, improved strength, improved insulin sensitivity. The formula: body weight in pounds equals grams of protein needed daily. Divide evenly across 3 meals. Each meal gets approximately 30 to 50 grams depending on your weight.